And that comes as Siemens in Germany is under investigation for running slush funds to win overseas contracts. In the UK, the biggest train and bus operator is going Greyhound. First Group is paying $3.6 billion for Laidlaw International of the US, the parent company of Greyhound Bus Lines. Laidlaw also runs the biggest school bus fleet in the US. First Group also said that it will raise almost $4 billion in debt and issue around $400 million in new shares to finance the purchase.
A bad start to the ski season in both the U.S. and Europe has forced Quicksilver to cut its earnings forecast. The company blames the unseasonably warm winter and poor snow conditions on both sides of the Atlantic. Quicksilver, which makes ski apparel and snowboards, now expects to earn only 4 cents a share in the current quarter. Analysts had expected 9 cents. Ouch. So take a look. Shares fell more than 10% in after hours to $12.99. Couldn't you see that one coming? I don't know. United Airlines has received final approval from the Department of Transportation to start nonstop service between Washington and Beijing. The first capital-to-capital flight will be on March 28th. However, you can start booking your trip from Washington's Dulles Airport to Beijing tomorrow. United shares yesterday down about 1% to $44.90, perhaps reacting to the rise in the price of oil. Christine.
Well, getting back to one of our top stories in India, CNBC TV 18 says the board of Hutchison Telecom will meet on Sunday to discuss bids for its Indian unit, Hutchison Essar. Sandeep Gurumurthy joins us now live from New Delhi. Sandeep, tell us more.
What we are picking up from our sources is that the board of Hutchison Telecom on Sunday. There are close to 4 bidders in the fray who are expected to put in bids later tonight in Hong Kong time, by Hong Kong closing time. That's what we understand. The 4 bidders in the fray are, of course, Hinduja's Reliance Communications, Essar, which is already a partner, and, of course, the UK telecom giant Vodafone. We also understand from sources that there's a possibility of a 5th surprise bidder coming into the fray. We're yet to get a fix on who that could possibly be. We understand it's going to be one of the global leading companies, so it's someone as big as Vodafone, potentially, but, of course, there is no confirmation on that. The last bit that we're picking up from our sources is that we expect some clarity on the entire transaction to come on by the end of this week. So potentially on Sunday, we could well know who gets Hutch's stake here in India. Christine?
Sandeep, looks like things are heating up. Thank you very much for that. Sandeep Gurumurthy, live from New Delhi. Well, for more analysis on this particular story, we're joined now by Marc Einstein, senior analyst at Pyramid Research in Hong Kong. Marc, good to have you with us. If Hutch Essar is doing so well and is so profitable, why is Li Ka-shing selling the company?
Well, I think that Hutchison is really in the driver's seat in this bidding war because they're in a position to either get a very good price for their stake or to remain their 4th largest position in one of the fastest growing telecom markets in the world. So I really think it's a win-win situation for them.
The fact that Asia's richest man is getting out of India's cellular business, what does it say about the sector as a whole? Is it reaching a peak?
No, I don't think so. I mean, India's mobile penetration rate is only 13%. There's going to be a lot of growth in India, even more so than in China next year. And so I think what's really happening is it's just a matter of timing. We saw the exact same thing with Hutchison's stake in Germany when he sold a few years ago. So I really don't think it's an indication of the sector. I just think it's good timing for him.
Mark, it's Michelle here in the United States. What do you make of these reports that the price could go as high as $20 billion? Is the company worth it?
I do think that $20 billion is very high. I mean, you have to remember that the average Indian only pays $8 per month for their cell phone subscription, and for mobile penetration to grow into the 30s, it's going to have to go much, much higher than that. And so there are very legitimate concerns about the price being too high.
Yeah, and Mark, it's Ross here in London. Of course, I wonder what the implications of that might be for Vodafone, because before shareholders have warned the management off from paying too high a price for assets.
That's absolutely right. And I think another thing you have to understand about India is only about 45 to 50% of Indians even have mobile coverage. And so for this phenomenal growth to happen, it's going to be a very, very capex-intensive venture. And we're also going to have 3G coming to India next year, which is going to require even additional capex. So I think that Vodafone is going to be very, very conservative in its bid, which may mean that it won't win in the end.
Mark, there is talk now of a surprise 5th bidder. Would you be surprised if it came from a private equity consortium?
I actually would. I think that one of the leading contenders might be Arascom from Egypt. They already own 19.3% of Hutch International, and so this might be a good opportunity for them to come in and snatch up the rest of Hutch Essar.
It'll be interesting to see how things shape up. Mark, great to have you on the show. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks
Marc
for having me.
Einstein, Senior Analyst, Pyramid Research.